Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be replacing this thermostat, which can be a common problem on these Mercedes 4-cylinder petrol engines. There's a few different variants with the AMGs and stuff like that, but we're going to be stuck into it. This car's got the engine light on, so it's got a fault code for this, which is common. They can also leak. If this video is going to help you out, please like and subscribe to the channel. Also, if it saves you a lot of money as a person or as a shop, please consider sending us a super thanks. That helps us to make more videos like this. But let's get stuck into it. So as you can see, we've got our engine light on. And this is the fault here, P012800. So which points to our thermostat. Also, there will be a link to everything I use in the description if you want to chase anything that I'm using. And just so you know, so this here is buried under the inlet manifold. Now, I have done this before without removing the manifold, but it is, if you feel like burying your hands where you can't see and stuff like that, you are working blind, but it can be done without taking off the manifold. However, I don't want to do that. I'm going to be removing the inlet manifold. We'll start by taking off these pipes here and going that way. First, we'll start with this cold air intake. You just lift this tab underneath here, pop that off, undo these clips. Go. Next, to take the airbox off, we'll just loosen that. Four T25s. So for this bottom half, there's just clips that hold the computer on, the module. You undo those on each side, pull that forward and up. There's a few parts you got to move the wiring harness out of the way, just pull them up. This just plugs into the grommets, and then up that comes. Next, I'm going to remove this intercooler pipe here. So just pull up that clamp, pull this part off. There's a few plugs that I'll disconnect or removed, and just some four T30s on the throttle body. In case you don't know, with these style of plugs, you have to pull out the safety tab first, this grey-white part. If they're too tight, you use a pick or a screwdriver. And once they're out, just pull back on the tab, and then off it comes. Also, I just removed these two E10s, one there and one there, from this coolant hose to give me some room. On these boost pipes, you pull that clamp up. I use a hook and come off. I'm actually now going to remove the battery to give me some more room. So this part just slides off. Take off the terminals, 10 mils. That bolt there, 13 mil, and then I'll take off the plate underneath it. So just quickly, that's the battery tray. I didn't film it because it's pretty straightforward. Once the battery's out, you just have a cover here, take that off. Some 13 mils plus one more E10, and that comes out. A lot more room in there. Now I'm going to be using this small bit driver with a T25 because some of these access is hard. Just to remove the four T25s from this boost pipe. So there's one, another one on the top, and then two underneath. Next, I'm just going to remove this E10, which is buried down there, which is just holding that boost pipe. Make sure if you can once that's off, this pipe should come out. There we go. Same again, unplug the throttle body. It's out the way. Okay, so now we're on to removing the inlet manifold. I'm just going to start by removing some of the hoses and the plugs that go to it, starting with this one here. Okay, so this is just a vacuum hose. They can be a bit funny. I'm going to spray a lube spray just in the openings that you can get it in. Then I just move it around a bit. And then there is a tab on the back that you just have to pull. I'll show you when it's off. You pull, it comes off. So that's the back of it. So you just hit that back. So then I just remove a T25 that's holding this in. Remove this clamp here from this hose, and that comes up. I'll tuck that behind there. I'll then remove these two clips, plugs, sorry. Next, I'm going to take a vacuum hose off here, and then a hose there. For this clamp back here, having these 90-degree bent pliers really makes it easier. Also, just on this hose here, it runs back to like a plastic housing that is kind of just, it's got like a rubber fitting on it that just slides onto the manifold. So you do just have to slide that off. Obviously I can't film it because it's hidden, but you will know what I'm talking about when you get there. It does just slide off. It's in this vicinity. This hose goes to it. No, I'm not going to get there. It's on this hose. Just slide it off. Then there are just 5 E10s, or access from the top of the manifold. The other two I've already done, but there's 5 E10s across the top. Take them off. After you've removed all of them, just quickly, something I missed before, there is actually a small vacuum hose on the front side of the manifold. That one there, you do have to take that off as well. Now, it is a bit of a wrestle, but that is finally out. Just what I was talking about before, you have a rubber grommet from that hose that just slides onto here. You have to slide it off. There is also an electrical connector. It doesn't plug in here, but it's just connected there. So you do have to pop that connector off, and then it's out. So once the manifold is out, it really gives you vision. There's the octopus of a thermostat that has hoses going everywhere. So it's pretty straightforward from here. We're just going to disconnect the plug, take the hoses off, and then unbolt it. I'm quickly just going to point out a couple of tools I'm going to be using which make this so much easier in my opinion. One's the spring clamp tool, which obviously as you pull here, that closes, so you can put that on the clamp and use this to close it, to open the clamp. The other one is obviously this locking tool, which I've used many times. And again, I'll be putting a link to everything in the description. Okay, at this point, I would advise you to put a drain tray under the car, because it's going to get messy from here. Okay, so I'll start with the easiest. Just disconnect this electrical plug. So using my spring clamp pliers, I'm just going to start. That's how that works. I can move the hose clamp, so I'm just going to start removing all the clamps and hoses. Okay, so I have 4 of the 5 hoses removed. There's one more I can't get to. I'm going to take the bolts out and get to it then. The easiest way to go about this is just look at your new one and just compare where everything is. So you got 2 E10s there and then 5 coolant hoses. So just remove them all and it's ready to come out. So as you can see, that's come out. This is that last one that I couldn't get. I'm gonna take that off now. They do get a bit tight in there, so you might have to lever it a little bit, but I'm just gonna take this hose off and take it out. There you have it, guys. We've removed the thermostat on a Mercedes 4-cylinder petrol. Stay tuned for part 2, where we'll go through the install.